worked in different companies for about 15 years, selling different products. And at the end of my career, seems kind of silly when I'm only 35, but at the end of my past career, I decided I needed a change. And I wanted an opportunity to lead my own team and to have accountability to myself. So I decided that buying a franchise was the right position for me to take, and I settled on Just Junk as that franchise partner. I made the life change because I wanted more control over my life. It's that simple. I wanted to wake up in the morning and say, this is great, I love what I'm doing, and I wasn't getting that before. Remember a story from my father saying that as long as you work hard, as long as you're happy when you get up in the morning, those are the two things in life. Well, I don't mind working hard, but I didn't enjoy getting up in the morning anymore. So now that I have made the decision and have changed my life and do own a Just Junk franchise or a franchise in general, I'm extremely happy. I like getting up in the morning. I like having control of my life. I like the financial freedom it gives me. It also gives me other freedoms where I can go and watch my sons play hockey or catch my daughter at her ballet recital. Those are things where before time was something I didn't have control of. Now it's mine to make a decision on. And for example, this morning my wife wanted to go to the gym and I could stay home with the kids and make sure they were looked after. My crews were in the trucks working, and I could pick up the phone, find out what was going on. I could pick up my BlackBerry and check on where they were, how they were doing for the day, what was going on, make a phone call for business from my house, from my cell phone. You know, my business is basically wherever I am. So it's an easy thing to have. I don't have an office to run to in the morning first thing. I don't have to be somewhere right on time because unless it's a meeting that I've set up, I don't have anything to do. It's my control. Makes me very happy, actually. It's very liberating. Being part of the Just Junk franchising network and being a franchisee of Just Junk has given me a couple things that were important before, but now I have control over. You know, one of them is scheduling. You know, if in a day I want to take myself out of the truck and give it over to a couple of the employees to make sure they're working, not a problem. I can take that day off. Not off, but I can take it out myself out of the business for that day. Next thing is equity. I was building it for someone else before, now I'm building it for me. You know, as much as I put into this business, I'm gonna get as much as I want out of it. And the third thing is family. I get to spend more time with my family now than I did before, because I have more control over what that time is and when I'm gonna spend it. So if I wanna take my kids to school in the morning, I can. It's wonderful. Basically, one of the things that was making me want to purchase a franchise was the people. Was the incredible sense that everyone who's taken on a franchise has a different set of experiences, had a different job before they came here. And sometimes when you're running into little problems, it's better to get some advice from another franchisee than someone else. Get a fresh perspective, or someone who might have had a similar experience than you, and get their input. Take that, use it. And it's great because everyone picks up the phone. There's none of this waiting around. They don't have to worry that, you know, someone has got a problem or whatever. We're all there to help each other out because we're all working the same brand. You know, we share clients too. Clients overlap territories all the time. And it may seem funny that someone from Ottawa will help someone in Toronto, but it happens. You know, could be a family member from up there, you're getting a reference down here. You want to have that, and you want it to be the same experience across the board. One of the financial aspects of this job or this company that I now own is that I don't have a lot of overhead. You know, my overhead is the truck. The truck has a lease maybe, or I purchased it. I have two trucks, so it's different for each one. And I don't have an office. My office is a home office or wherever I am. It's my mobile office. I don't have a lease payment. I don't have carrying costs of goods every month. You know, there is no big overhead. When it comes down to it, you know, the number of things I have to carry on an overhead sheet or my balance sheet, I can count on probably one hand that are big, you know, line item expenses. The truck, the employees, the insurance. Those are your big ones. You know, everything else that goes with overhead has to do with actually making money. So when you're talking disposal fees, well, that's because you've got a job and you need to dispose of something. So you've already made the money. So it's, again, it's one of those things that you don't see in business very often when you're looking at the true financial numbers. How long did it take me to become profitable? It took about a month and a half. It was interesting because you get all these stories about, you know, business startups and, you know, it's going to take you 6 years to make your money back or 3 years before you'll see profit. You know, after 1 month, my business was covering its costs from our business bank account. I didn't have to put any more money in our business bank account, and I haven't since. I've actually taken money out. I've bought, you know, another truck. I bought a pickup truck for the supervisor that works that day. You know, I've expanded my vehicles just out of our operating income, which is really unheard of. I mean, everyone from my accountant to my banker, they're all very, very surprised. Actually really nice too, because my banker was saying, if you need a loan or a line of credit, we can provide it for you, which is not normally the case from what I understand in your first month or your first year of business. So it makes me really happy. It also makes me feel good about the investment I made in the business, because it was the single biggest purchase I've ever made besides a house. People always ask, are you happy you bought this business? Are you happy you're working for yourself? It comes down to, I think, am I happy working for Just Junk, or am I happy owning a Just Junk franchise? Yeah, there is no way to put that in words, I don't think. Every day I wake up and I want to do what I'm doing. People always worry about working for any organization. How are you going to interact with the head office? Are they going to be too controlling of your day to day? Are they going to have too many things that you need to get done before you can concentrate on other things? With this company and with this organization, there is no micromanaging. There is no one staring over my shoulder on a daily basis, checking off the little boxes, making sure I'm doing everything. It doesn't exist that way. They're building a national brand. They're building a worldwide brand. My job is to grow my territory. That's it. It's that simple. This is my little piece of the world, and I'm doing the best I can to grow this franchise. It's interesting. I actually have a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs before I even started becoming an entrepreneur, and some of them actually own some of the food-based franchising systems. And one thing I always was interested about them was the fact that it seemed to be a lot of time involved, and it was more than a 12-hour shift, more than a 12-hour day always for them. And they didn't seem to have time, which was something that was important to me. And they didn't seem to have that time that they could create themselves. So I chose a franchise like Just Junk. We are sort of not a 9 to 5, but our hours are pretty fairly set. The trucks can't run after a certain time because you run out of places to get rid of your products, rid of your trash or your items. You can't donate after certain times. You can't go to metal yards after certain times. So you are on that constraint where it normally is a 8 to 10 hour working day. And it doesn't go past 5. It doesn't go past 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night or after midnight, or not being called in at 3 in the morning because someone didn't show up at work. Your day is a typical work day. One of the other things about this franchising system I was really, really intrigued was that it is a junk removal business, so it seems like it's going to be dirty and outside and stuff, but our brand is very, very clean. It's a green brand. What we're doing is also environmentally conscious, which is something I have always had an interest in. I have an actual degree in environmental studies, so it actually appealed to me on that side of who I am and trying to live a better lifestyle. On the other side, it has an incredible computer system. I often tell people that we are a wonderful junk removal company who also happens to be a software firm. Because what I've seen, and I've worked in software before, is that our system is a hands-on approach where I can see whatever is going on in my entire operation from my BlackBerry, which is an incredible help. It means I don't have to lug along my computer if I'm working in a truck. It means that my staff can be dispatched without having to call an office and get papers and write down addresses. It's all right in front of them. And it coincides with their navigation system or mapping system. It's perfect. It works really, really effectively. Also the people I get to work with. It's funny having an office at home and then working with my head office in St. Catharines, but it really does feel more like a family than a business partnership at times, because everyone puts in 110%. There is no question. You know that the call center staff isn't calling it quits right on time because they want to make sure that we're going to be successful. The same with every other franchisee. If I'm running out of something or I need advice from someone, first person I talk to normally is another franchisee. Not necessarily someone that's been there longer or been around doing different things. We've all brought a different set of tools to this experience or to this job. And sometimes it's great to crack open that toolbox and try someone else's advice or way of thinking towards a problem.